Catching up now with Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Penske Ford. And Ryan, coming off your best season in the Cup Series, 3 victories a year ago. Talk to me about building off of that year when you consider the fact that from a car standpoint, everything's completely different. From a driver standpoint, though, you still certainly have that confidence of all that success a year ago.
Yeah, it was nice to have a strong, year in 2021 and, win a few races there. And, so yeah, you just try to take the things that you learn and that experience and apply it to next year. Like you said, even though it's a different car and a completely different car, and I have a new crew chief this year with Jonathan Hassler, and I'm looking forward to working with him a lot. He's very sharp. He's been with Penske for a very long time, and it's been good to test with him a lot in the off season. But yeah, everyone's learning. Everyone's learning this new car. It's been nice to have 3 or 4 tests. From the Charlotte Roval to the 1.5 to Daytona, and then we just got done running Phoenix. Kind of all these different types of tracks to kind of see how they handle it at each different place and what changes kind of help those out. So it's been really neat to get a lot of laps with this new car. And because we're not going to get a lot of laps on race weekend. It's pretty limited practice, so you try to get as much as you can. But it's been fun developing that car with NASCAR and learning all about it. And it's always nice when we get a run in the off season. So this has given us a good chance for that. So I'm excited for it to debut here this weekend here at the Clash.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that you talk about the different tracks that you get to test it on, and then the first one you have to actually go competitively race on is one that you won't race on ever again. A quarter-mile beaten and banging short track race. Let's jump right into that. I mean, how excited are you about that proposition? I'm sure your dad's kind of jealous. I mean, here you get to go race inside the LA Coliseum, something that very few have ever had a chance to do.
Yeah, it's going to be different. I wish I could tell you exactly how I think it's going to go, but I don't know. I have no idea until we get out there. So, it'll be nice. We got a little bit of practice on Saturday and then some heat races, which would be pretty neat. And it's cool to go to a different area. We race in Fontana and Sonoma out in California, but not in the heart of Los Angeles, and let alone a very historic, place like the LA Coliseum. So, huge honor. It's really cool to say you've raced, inside the LA Coliseum. I think if you told someone that 10 years ago, they think never going to happen. So, props to NASCAR and everybody who come up with that idea. But it'll be different. We get running here usually before anything. It's going to be weird not running the Clash in Daytona the week of the 500. So, but it's going to be a cool venue. I'm looking forward to a lot of people coming out to it, and it'll be exciting. That's for sure. That you want a short track, that is the shortest track you're going to get. So it'll be something else.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talked to Jimmy Johnson last week before the Rolex 24, and that's where he was discovered, racing trucks inside the LA Coliseum, as crazy as that is. So adding another chapter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, adding another chapter to kind of NASCAR history here with the race. Nice. And I'm excited because I'm going to be there this weekend as well. So that'll be a lot of fun to go check that out. Talking about the new car a little bit more, your thoughts from the test that you've had as far as maybe what you like the most about it and what kind of gives you a little trepidation. What are you interested to see once you finally get out on the track and have some real racing?
Yeah, well, there's, everything is different on this new car. I mean, it's something that we haven't done ever before. It is the biggest change in NASCAR's history as far as coming out with a certain type of car. And from everything, from the mechanics to it, there's not a lot that's the same. Maybe our seats are the same from what we've run in the past. That's about it. But, what I enjoy about it, and when we get to running it more and more, when we went to a shorter spoiler, because we were all wanting that. And, they're easy to make mistakes in. They're hard to drive. And that's, I think, going to showcase a lot of drivers' talents. If it's really easy to make a mistake and we're already running on the fine line. And so that's just going to, be more important to not mess up and be perfect. So I'm looking forward to that. That part's really nice about them. The scary thing to me about it, and I think everyone's been talking about it, is, everyone's trying to get parts and pieces and cars and things like that. That's been scary because, in the past, all the teams have built their own chassis and done a lot of machine work themselves on parts and pieces that they have on the cars. And now it's all coming from one supplier. And that's a lot of cars and teams to, manufacture things for. So everyone's kind of nervous right now on making sure we have enough, things to go to the racetrack if you wreck a car or things like that. So that's the nervous thing about it. But I think that'll just get better and better as, that supply chain kind of gets running a little bit more smoothly. But, you have to keep that in mind, and, you hope it doesn't run into an issue.
Especially when you consider in the Clash, you're probably going to beat up some cars. And at Daytona's not exactly known for bringing cars back in one piece after you go race there. Speaking of Daytona, you get the win there last year in the summer race. What would it mean to be a Daytona 500 champion? I know we're just a few short weeks from that coming up, the Great American Race. What would that mean to be able to go back to back at Daytona and make it a second straight win there?
Yeah, that would obviously be incredible. It was really great to win at Daytona, in the night race, and it's really special to win there, in anything. But obviously, the 500 has so much more prestige to it, and it's very, very special. So we've run second there a couple times in the 500, and lost it a couple years ago by like 2 feet. So hopefully, the first part of that race is trying to make it to the end. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. And I think we got involved in a wreck on like lap 15 last year, and your whole week and day is done before you even get going. So, and sometimes that's not your fault, and just, you have to understand that's the kind of product of speedway racing. But it would mean a ton. That win last year meant a ton there, and it'd be great to be able to do it again here in a few short weeks.
And I'll leave you with this bit of turnover there for you guys over at Penske, talking about team dynamics, bringing in a new guy in Austin. How has that process been, and how excited are you for your stable to go out there and try to take the title away from the guys at Hendrick?
Yeah, I think the addition of Austin Cindric is good. He's won Xfinity Championship, was very close to winning, a second one last year. And he's done, a really great job. And his progression, I remember when he started in trucks, and his progression from there, all the way to the Cup Series is really cool to see, because I kind of took a similar route as him. I never ran Xfinity full time, but just seeing the progression of somebody and then their teammate is really cool. So he's done a great job in the off season. He works really hard and definitely deserves the chance. So looking forward to working with him. But yeah, Hendrick has obviously been really strong the last couple of years, and I think we've been inching towards him. It's just a matter of, getting to Phoenix, and having a car to try to contend at Phoenix. But looking forward to this season. It'll be a lot of new things for all the teams to try to learn, and it's whoever learns it the quickest is going to be on top.
Ryan Blaney, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.